What's good, squad? It's the big homie SB23 back at you with some more words of wisdom. Today we're going to talk about not being afraid to take a loss. Please like, share, subscribe. Spread the gems out to anybody else who might need it. I appreciate everybody who watches the videos, gives a like, or shares the videos. It means a lot to me, and I hope that it will mean a lot to whoever it is that finds the video because you shared it. So, not being afraid to take a loss. Now in order to understand this concept, you got to remember what I said in one of my first videos, or one of the more recent videos, or whenever I said it. Life is like a game. So if you look at life like a game, then you can play the game and not be so serious about it. When I say serious, I mean, like, don't get so caught up in your emotions that you end up rage quitting in life. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people out here, they get so caught up in everything that's going on in their life that they end up rage quitting. And a rage quit is when you get so angry at the game that you flip out, you start tearing stuff up, you start throwing the controller, you start kicking TVs and doing all types of crazy stuff. That's rage quitting. So you got to understand that every day that we wake up is a new life. It's like having a new life. It's like a new opportunity to play the game however you want to play it. So with that knowledge, then when you go to sleep, you unplug from the game. When you wake up, you're plugging back into the game. That's a new life. So within that, yeah, you're living the same life within the game that you hop into, but you can play it differently, meaning you can make different moves and take different routes to have a different outcome than the one that you've been having. So again, within this game and life that we live in, part of the game is taking the loss, and that could be financially, that could be a loss of something, a material object. It could be a loss of a relationship. It could be loss of a family member, as far as or a person that you love, as far as them passing away. You're gonna take multiple losses within this life, and you got to understand that that's just part of the game. Don't get mad at taking a loss, because in order to be a winner, you got to take losses first. Like I tell people all the time, I'm a natural born winner, and it's a fact. I've been winning all my life. Plenty of times I've won during my life and plenty of occasions and many different things, but I also took a whole bunch of losses too, and that just comes with the territory. In order for you to be a consistent winner, like a winner that consistently wins on a high level, you got to be able to understand that losses come with the territory. So when you take a loss, you don't take it to heart so much so that now you can't find yourself playing the game to a high level. So again, it's the same concept within your life. Something might happen in your life. You lose money, whether you literally lose it out of your pocket, or you take a loss. Maybe one of your things, you find something like your car blows up or whatever, or I don't know, you lost money, you lose your job. So you lose your job, and now you get evicted from your apartment, or you can't pay your mortgage, or whatever the case may be. You got to understand that sometimes these things happen, but it's not about what happens to you, it's about what you do about what happens to you. So again, to be a winner, you have to be somebody who can persevere when you take a loss. So even in one of my songs I wrote, if I take a L, I'll take the next L and flip it and get my dub back. So basically, if I take a L, I take another L after that. Instead of me looking at that next L as an L, I flip it, and then I put them two L's together and figure out something within those L's that I can utilize and learn from, and then turn it into a W. So in other words, I turn two L's into a win. Instead of looking at those two L's as two L's, I look at those two L's from a different perspective, analyze it, and see what I did wrong within those two L's, and then apply it to my game plan. So now that when I'm moving forward, I can now make different adjustments so that I don't take L's anymore. So I took two L's and turned it into a W. That's the concept. If you're a winner on any level and you want to continue to win, you got to be able to take your losses as lessons and not as something that went wrong for you. You have to flip it and say, you know what, that happened for a reason, and it was to teach me something. And then take whatever lesson you can from that scenario and then apply it to your life, apply it to how you play the game out here, and then you'll find yourself in a winning position. It's no different than any high-level sports athlete. None of those high-level sports athletes that we know have won on 100% rate. Nobody wins all the time. You're gonna take a lose, or you're gonna take a loss at some point, no matter how good you are, no matter how much natural talent you have, and no matter how much hard work you put into it, you're gonna take a loss at some point. That's just part of life. And if you can understand that and not take it personal, then that's when you can elevate yourself through these levels of the game. So again, we've all played video games. In the video game, you're gonna take a loss. You're gonna have lives that you have, and once you run out of those lives, the game's over. So again, if you're even thinking about it like this, like we all have a set date to when we're gonna not be on this life anymore. So every time you wake up, it's like a life. So if you take it like that, like, okay, I got another life, I got a one up, you know, let me go ahead and make the most out of it. Let me not waste my time with nonsense. Let me make the most out of it so I can play this game to the highest level and enjoy this life the way I want to, and not the way that somebody else may seem or deem fit for you. So look at it like that. And that's how I approach my scenarios. It's like, okay, I'm always trying to level myself up in some way, whether it's mentally, physically, spiritually, you know, emotionally, however I can do that in order to up the level of my creative player, I'm going to, because there's a certain way that I want to live and certain things that I want to do, and in order to be able to do those things, I have to create winning ways within my everyday life. So again, ain't nothing wrong with taking a loss. Sometimes oftentimes when you do take a loss, that thing that you took a loss on is replaced by something better anyways. So it's like, that's another reason why not to get in your feels if something doesn't go right for you. Because if you're moving right and you have been doing things to level yourself up, and on your way up, you're not hurting anybody else or hurting yourself. And even better, if you're doing things to uplift the people around you also, then you have nothing to worry about when you take a loss. Because oftentimes when you take that loss, whatever comes behind whatever you lost is better than what you just had. So it might feel, and it might hit you in the moment like, man, I really wasn't expecting that, or, you know, I didn't want that to happen. It might not feel good in the moment, but I promise you, whatever comes to replace that thing that you lost is going to be on a whole nother level than what you had that you're missing. And that's what happens. Oftentimes life will clear things out of your life for you. If you don't do it, the universe will clear it out of the way for you, so that it could then replace it with something more that you deserve. So that's another reason why not to take a loss take a loss personally. Because if you understand that what's meant for you is not going to miss you, then you will understand that, okay, whatever does exit my life was not meant for me then, for whatever reason. So if it exits your life and it doesn't return, it wasn't meant for you. Just like that thing, that one saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. That's facts. If something ends up leaving your life for whatever reason and it doesn't come back to you, then it's not meant for you. And again, something better is going to be replaced by whatever it is that you lost. So there's no even need to be upset or mad or feel some type of way about it, because again, it's just part of life. You're going to take a loss sometimes. You're not going to win every game, and you're not going to always come out on top in every scenario. But it's not about the battle, it's about the war. You know what I mean? It's about the, I should probably make that a video. It's not about the short-sightedness. It's about the overall picture. It's about a broad picture. It's not about what tunnel vision. And that's a thing that we all get sometimes. Sometimes we get so caught up in our stuff that we have tunnel vision and we don't allow other different scenarios to be able to be played out because we're so focused on this thing going a certain way that we want it to go, when really there's a multitude of ways that it could go, and oftentimes those other ways that it goes might be better than whatever you have envisioned in your mind. So again, in this life, you don't be afraid to take an L, and that comes with, and again, being afraid to take an L or not being afraid to take an L means that you don't mind taking a risk. And again, for me, I'm one of those type of people that I like to take a risk. Like I like to push the limits on what may be deemed as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like to conform to one ideal of something. Like I like to I'm a free spirit. So again, I don't like to be caged up or anything like that. So that even comes down to what is thought to be possible. I like to open my mind up to all different possibilities and explore those if they make sense. So that comes with not being afraid to take a loss, because oftentimes you'll do some stuff that most people will look at you and be like, why are you doing that? Like it doesn't seem like that will pan out for you, or they can't see how it will pan out for you. But you see the vision and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it, just because if I don't shoot for the stars, then I'm not gonna be satisfied within myself. And that's the type of person I am. Like I've never been the type of person to go halfway. Like if I'm gonna do anything, if I'm doing anything, I'm gonna go all the way. Like I want to get my full experience out of said thing. So I don't want to just be comfortable. I want to be thrilled. You know what I'm saying? I want to thrive. So I want some excitement. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like when it comes to not being afraid to take a loss, it's just that thing of knowing that, okay, I'm about to take this risk, and I know I could. There's a good possibility that I might take an L here, but even if I do take a L, I'm gonna persevere over it and keep going towards this goal. You know what I'm saying? If you shoot for the stars and you miss, then you still made it close to the sun. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So the light's gonna be shown on you in some sort of way. Those rays are gonna hit you and you're gonna glow up in some sort of way. If you shoot for if you think about that, if you shoot for the stars and you miss, let's say you miss the mark of where you wanted to be and you fall short is still way higher up off the ground than shooting for the trees or shooting for the mountaintop. You know what I'm saying? If you shoot for the stars and you come up short, you still went way past the mountaintop. So think about that. Like, that's where I'm coming from. Sometimes you gotta take a risk, and yeah, you might not, and within that, you might take a few losses. You're gonna take a loss here, a loss here, a loss here. I know for me, with especially when you're doing your own thing, you're starting your businesses, things might not pan out the way you think they're gonna pan out right away. But you just make adjustments. It's like being a quarterback on a football field. If a play ain't working, you don't just throw away the team or anything like that, or the whole playbook. You just make adjustments. You call audible at the line and say, okay, I see them. They got the corners trying to rush in on me. Oh, I see the defensive linebacker. I see him. Okay, I see what y'all trying to do. Let me maneuver and make a way so that I can break through wherever I'm trying to get to in order to get to my goal. It's the same thing. You're the QB. So at the end of the day, you call your plays. You got to call the plays that you need to call for yourself in order to win in a way that works for you. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. And don't be afraid to take a loss, because again, it's a game. So you're going to always be able to bounce back and then keep playing as long as you don't quit. But all right, y'all, it's the big homie. I'm out of here.